We're going to start off with a public hearing on the second reading of the ordinance to sell property located on North Pine Street, TMS number 007021-01-004. Do we have anyone desiring to comment on this?
I would like to speak on behalf of the Batesburg Business Association. This property we had dealt with for about 4 years. We were going to develop it into the Pine Street Plaza. Matter of fact, we had come before council to talk about H-tax funds last year in helping to finish this. However, Lois Black, who was leading out on this project, had numerous health issues, and so it kind of got waylaid. When we found out that there was interest in buying the property, we decided to relinquish and abandon the project. However, we had spent over the last 4 years approximately $15,000 on this site. Part of it was buying a gazebo that was going to be there. Part of it was buying pots and plants and so forth. But we also spent $10,000 in repaving that parking lot. So we would respectfully request that from the sale of the proceeds of this property, if the BBA could be reimbursed that $10,000, not the additional money that was spent, but the $10,000 spent on paving the property.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else? If not, we'll close the public hearing and call to order the December meeting of the Batesburg-Leesville Town Council. I'd like to welcome everybody here. And at this time, I'd like to call on Pastor Lisa Eisenhower, pastor at Faith Lutheran Church on Oak Street in Batesburg, for the invocation.
Thank you, Mayor Bachnight. Let us pray. Almighty God, you desire that all your children should flourish. You desire that we should live in peace and in safety. And so we pray that you would guide our elected leaders and lead them in the paths of peace and righteousness that you would have all of us follow. Send your Spirit to guide, send your angels to guard, and help these men and women to do the work that they have been elected to do. Give them what they need, and help all of us to live in the peace and flourishing that you desire. We pray in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Lisa. At this time, if all that can stand, if you're able, and both Councilman Turner will lead us.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jay, do it right. You need to do it right. We got a running joke about Barbara Brown. It's faster than Barbara.
All right. I need, at this time, a motion to approve the agenda.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Hall. And a second by Kathy Knox. Have a motion and a second that we approve the agenda. It's now open for discussion. If there's no discussion, we'll vote. District 8,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 6,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
District 4,
4, yes.
District 3,
District 3 votes yes.
District 1,
Yes.
and the mayor votes yes. All right, the agenda has been approved. At this time, I'll need a motion to adopt the minutes from the regular council meeting on November 10th and the special council meeting on November the 24th.
Make a motion to adopt the minutes from said scripts.
All right, motion by Joe Montgomery,
Second.
second by Mr. Wise. We have a motion and a second that we approve the minutes from the regular council meeting and the special council meeting, November 10th and November the 24th respectively. It's now open for discussion. If there's no discussion, we'll vote. District 1,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
4, yes.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
Yes.
and the mayor votes yes. The motion carries. All right. At this time, I'd like to call on Mr. Hendricks to get up and read the resolution to present to Lonnie Boatwright.
Yay.
Lonnie, if you want to come on up here, we'll make Lonnie get a little bit embarrassed for a little longer. So the resolution is from the town of Batesburg-Leesville Town Council honoring Lonnie Boatwright, the 2025 Water Operator of the Year. Whereas the town of Batesburg-Leesville is proud to recognize outstanding employees whose dedication, skill, and commitment strengthen the community and ensure the highest quality of public service. And whereas Mr. Lonnie Boatwright has faithfully served the town of Batesburg-Leesville for 44 years, beginning his career with the Batesburg Commission of Public Works and continuing in various capacities with the Utilities Department. And whereas throughout his decades of service, Lonnie has exemplified professionalism, leadership, and steadfast work ethic that has earned him the respect of colleagues, town leaders, and residents alike. And whereas in November 2025 at the South Carolina Rural Water Association's annual conference in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Lonnie Boatwright was honored as the Water Operator of the Year, a prestigious award recognizing exceptional performance, knowledge, and dedication within the water utility profession. And whereas Lonnie chose to continue his service for several additional years, ensuring that the town of Batesburg-Leesville successfully reached the historic milestone of closing the current water plant after 90 years of operation. And whereas Lonnie's loyalty, pride in his work, and unwavering commitment to serving his community stand as an example of the highest ideals of public service and reflect great credit upon the town of Batesburg-Leesville. And whereas the Batesburg-Leesville Town Council wishes to honor Lonnie for his remarkable career, his contributions to the community, and his well-deserved recognition at the state level. Now, therefore, be resolved that the Batesburg-Leesville Town Council hereby recognizes and congratulates Lonnie Boatwright for being named the 2025 Water Operator of the Year by the South Carolina Rural Water Association and expresses its deep appreciation for his 44 years of loyal and dedicated service to the town of Batesburg-Leesville. Be it further resolved that the Town Council extends its sincerest gratitude and best wishes to Lonnie as he continues to serve the community he has supported with pride, joy, and steadfast commitment. Mayor David Boatwright and Town Manager Jake, congratulations. Lonnie, do you want to say a few words?
Mr. Hendricks, I'm going to put you back to work again and Ask you to present the resolution to the Batesburg-Leesville Bantam Youth Football, Lexington County champions.
So we go from old people like Lonnie to the youngins, so. Stand over there so everybody can see them. And I do want to recognize that we have Cynthia Etheridge here, president of Football Youth. What exactly is the official title? Youth football? Just youth football. All right. So the resolution of the Batesburg-Leesville Town Council honoring the Batesburg-Leesville Bantam football team for winning the Lexington County Youth Football League Championship. Whereas the Batesburg-Leesville Bantam football team has brought great pride and recognition to the town of Batesburg-Leesville through their outstanding performance during the 2025 season. And whereas under the direction of dedicated leadership of head coach Denver Pageant and assistant coaches Jeremy Gant and Zach Howerton, the team demonstrated exceptional discipline, teamwork, and determination. And whereas the Bantam team captured the Lexington County Youth Football League Championship, securing a hard-fought victory over Lexington 8 with a final score of 14-7. And whereas throughout the season, and especially in the championship game, the players displayed tremendous grit, heart, and perseverance, never wavering in their pursuit of excellence. And whereas the coaches led by example, teaching the values of sportsmanship, dedication, and character, while the players represented the Batesburg-Leesville community with integrity and pride. Whereas the support and encouragement of the players' parents, families, and community members contributed greatly to the team's success both on and off the field. And whereas the Batesburg-Leesville Town Council wishes to recognize and celebrate the remarkable achievements of the athletes, coaches, families whose collective efforts resulted in this championship accomplishment. Now, therefore, be resolved that the Batesburg-Leesville Town Council hereby congratulates the Batesburg-Leesville Bantam football team, their coaches, parents, and families for winning the Lexington County Youth Football League Championship and representing the town of Batesburg-Leesville with honor and distinction. Be it further resolved that the Town Council extends its best wishes to all team members and coaches in their future endeavors, both in athletics and in life. Congratulations.
Somebody go ahead.
See how small the football
Will you allow?
It is flag football.
Okay.
Football.
Mr. Mayor, you get to be in picture.
Yeah, you're the
Good
mayor.
job now.
I don't want to break anybody's.
Way to go, little Panthers.
I saw that picture. I said she must be hunting the husband.
And the last item is Eagle Scout Project. Braeden McCormick, who addressed council last month, he is here to, with some pictures on the video board. He's also here to just kind of give a recap of his operation.
Braden, you want to come forward and tell us?
See how they be still?
I just want to say thank you, all of you, even the new people that were elected over this short span of time. Especially to Mr. Jay Hendricks for helping me get this through. As y'all see on the board, we planted about 16 trees. Well, not about, exactly. 8 dogwoods, 8 maples over the course of about 3 hours. I'm really glad that I was able to get the 9 people that helped me out to help me because they all live about half an hour away. So I'm really happy about that. And I'd also like to thank Mr. and Mrs. Perry for helping me figure out where we're going to get these planted, what I'm going to have to do over the next few weeks and, well, months, where I'm going to have to go out about every week, just make sure their water look good and all that. And I want to say thank you all so much for allowing me to do this. And Jay, thank you so much for helping me. So, thank y'all.
Thank you for your
very
work.
much for doing it. All right. The next regular council meeting will be January the 12th, right here in this same place. All right, that takes us to council committee reports. I have a little report on Central Midlands. We had a convention. The South Carolina COG had a convention in Myrtle Beach the 23rd, 24th, and 25th. Well, our meeting was on the 24th, but I had something I had to come back here and take care of, so I missed it. So I really don't have a report other than there was a convention. All right. Environmental planning had no meeting. Former Councilman Prowse was on that committee, and I talked to him, and they had no meeting. Common Advisory Committee, Councilman Kane.
Yes, sir. No meeting, Mr. Mayor.
All right.
With no report, let me say that.
Okay. And then joint municipal, and that has been Mayor Shull, and I have his report. We're expecting an official permitting of Batesburg-Leesville this week, possibly tomorrow. Should be moving water by Wednesday. The commission executed a 40-year lease agreement with the town of Swansea, whereby they will be taking over all operational and management functions and eventually begin a revenue share with the town. This partnership allowed them to secure $4 million in grant funding from the state, RIA, and DES, mainly for sewer system improvements. Commencing February of 2026, pending USDA approval of JMWSC, paying Swansea's debt service on their behalf. New cellular AMI system to be installed by JMWSC once commencement date is confirmed. Water customer growth is steady at 3.16%. Sewer customer growth is steady at 5.83%. All right. Mr. Mike Taylor, President of the BL Chamber of Commerce, if you would come forth and give us the chamber report, please, sir.
Yes, sir. If I may, good evening, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year before I see you again. The Chamber held their 2025 annual banquet on Thursday, November 20th at TNS Farm. The new format was appealing, I think, to everyone. All enjoyed an evening of networking, food, entertainment, and presentations. Award winners for the evening in 2025 were Small Business of the Year, Prosperity Drug of Batesburg-Leesville. The Chairman's Award went to Arts on the Ridge, and the President's Award went to Mayor Fetchel. On Sunday, November 23rd, the Batesburg-Leesville Ministerial Alliance's Community Thanksgiving Service was held at Leesville Methodist Church. It was well attended. The offering that evening of $872 went to the school district social worker, Merritt Bishop, to help those needy children in the district. So they were very proud of that offering. On our December general membership meeting was last Thursday. Cheryl Felder and 18 members of the Batesburg-Leesville High School's Honor Corps choir provided Christmas cheer to the membership. Leesville Merchants Association held their annual Christmas in Leesville this past Friday evening from 6 to 8. The weather could have been more accommodating, but s'mores by the fire and gingerbread house competition got everyone in the Christmas spirit. The Chamber conducted a ribbon cutting for Darling Piggy Tales Children's Boutique at 128 North Oak Street on Saturday. And on Sunday, the Chamber hosted the 2025 Christmas Parade. We had the most interest we've had since I've been there, 53. But to give you some idea, one of the entries took over 100 feet. So we had at least 75 units in there, maybe more. On behalf of the Chamber, I would like to thank the community's churches, businesses, and organizations for making this year truly special. It was an event, it was evident that each entry put in a lot of time and effort so many could enjoy. Thanks to Batesburg-Leesville Police for traffic control, the Batesburg-Leesville Fire Department for giving Santa and Miss Claus a ride, and the town for the festivities after the parade. Parade winners this year, first place went to Old Lexington Baptist Church, second place went to Libraries Grove Hearts and Minds, and third place, Dance Elements Academy. Next Sunday, December the 14th, will be another special day with Christmas in Batesburg from 4 to 8. The Batesburg Business Association is planning a special fun-packed day, and from what I understand, it might even snow that day, okay? So I hope you'll all show up, and they've gone to a lot of work. It'll be a special day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. All right, I missed something. I didn't approve the minutes for the call meeting, special meeting.
You actually approved them both at the same
I
time.
did it at the same time.
And
Okay,
the attorney
I
said it's
didn't
good.
mark it on my sheet.
We got you.
Okay, good. All right, at this time, we'll open public comment regarding items on the agenda. Do we have anyone?
Miss Rachel Taylor signed up, she's already spoken.
Okay. All right. That brings us to I need a motion to adopt second reading of the ordinance to sell property located at North Pine Street, TMS number 007-021-01-004. We have a motion for second reading.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the second reading.
Okay,
Second.
Councilman Hall. Do we have a second?
District 7.
Okay. We have a motion and a second that we adopt the second reading of the ordinance to sell property on North Pine Street. It's now open for discussion. If there's no discussion, we'll,
I would like to bring up what Ms. Taylor spoke to us about with this property, that there's about $10,000 the BBA spent there. Are we willing to talk about giving them in return some of those funds?
you can't talk about anything that's not on the agenda.
I thought that was about selling the property.
Yeah, but that's not, what you're talking about is what we're gonna do with the money. We're only talking about selling the property.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, y'all, if the council would entertain the request to direct funding of the sale to, as asked or requested, then the motion would need to be amended to include that in the original motion to sell the property.
But can't we put it on the agenda for another meeting and decide how we're gonna distribute the money or whether we're gonna give them that money?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, you can, yeah.
Okay.
You can consider it two separate actions.
Yeah, I don't mind doing the amendment. I don't have a problem doing that, but we got a lot on the agenda tonight, and I think it would be better if we put it off and do it the next meeting.
Okay.
Call for the question.
All right, questions called for. We'll vote. District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
District 2 votes yes.
I'm sorry, District 3.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dave. That's a project.
Voting right now.
Freudian slip.
Yeah.
Don has just distracted me, y'all.
District 4,
I see District
4 yes.
District 5,
I vote yes.
District 6,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
District 8 votes yes.
and the mayor votes yes. All right, takes us to new business. I'll entertain a motion for first reading to annex property located on Line Street, Lexington County, TMS number 005-900-08-005. Saluda County, TMS number 183-09-01-003. TMS number 183-09-01-004, consisting of 20.05 acres and to be zoned R1 single-family residential.
I make a motion that we approve to annex the property located there that you just mentioned.
Kathy, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second that we adopt first reading of ordinance to sell that, or to annex that property and zone it R1. It's now open for discussion.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
may I ask staff a question?
Yes,
All
sir.
right. So, Jay, what is it going to be used for now?
Step forward. Yep. Well, you just step. Yeah, we do have staff here, and we have the representative from the.
Okay.
Good evening. I'm Phil Mabry. I represent Batesburg-Leesville investors who owns the property. We don't have a site plan right now. If you look currently, about a 45-acre parcel, I believe about half of it is already in the town, if I'm correct. So we'd like to get the entire parcel annexed into the town with some future plans to do some kind of residential development.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
is this adjacent to the property that we just did a couple months ago, last month or so? You recall?
No, sir.
Not, okay.
No, so the image on the screen, the highlighted portion is the out-of-town portion that's being annexed, and a little bit to the left is in Saluda County. This is from the Lexington GIS.
Yeah.
The shaded area south of that is in town already, but you can see the property line. So as Mr. Mabry stated, it's about 45 total acres. It extends from Line Street, loops around, and touches, the backside of J.F. Johnson property and Miller Street.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor, if I may,
Yes, sir.
and this is for the town attorney, town manager. Water and sewer availability to this property, will it support 160 homes?
Yes, but also we have Andrew with us. We do have our sewer lift station right across the street at Alexander, and there are water lines along Line and on Miller Street that would access the property. But Andrew, is there anything you would want to add to that?
How many daggone houses are we going to put up here?
The number that was thrown out, I don't know if that was.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that number came from.
Our standard ordinance requires 6 at most if we approve it, or 4 houses per acre. You have 40 acres.
Right.
So it's a rough number.
Process.
It's something to shoot at per se.
Right.
And the water is located almost adjacent to the property. I'm looking at the town's obligation to provide contact with the property.
So it would be the responsibility of the developer to come to us.
To come to you.
Yep.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
and the developer will make those improvements to the water and sewer system to get it to your
Yes,
property.
absolutely.
Just want to clarify. Thank you, sir.
Any further discussion?
How many houses are you going to put there?
We haven't even done a layout. We want to get it annexed and kind of figure out what our options are with the town zoning.
Who's the developer? He said the developer would. Y'all have a developer
I'm part
You're
of the
the
development team. Yes, sir.
for the owners?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a owner operated development.
Gotcha.
Any further questions? If not, we'll vote. District 8,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 6,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
District 4,
No.
District 3,
District 3 votes yes.
District 1,
Yes.
and the mayor votes yes. All right, that first reading passes.
So the spot zoning.
All right, at this time, I need a motion for first reading to rezone 532 West Columbia Avenue. And that would be from,
It is on that check sheet you've got. It was not on the initial agenda.
okay,
My apologies.
all right, West Columbia Avenue from C2 Office and Institutional to C1 General Commercial, Lexington County TMS number 007-07-001. Do we have a motion to have first reading for that ordinance?
Salute. Yes.
Mr. Wise? Who's second? Joe? Okay. Mr. Montgomery? We have a motion and a second for first reading to rezone 532 West Columbia Avenue from C2 Office and Institutional to C1 General Commercial. It's now open for discussion.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
may I address Jay?
You.
Staff?
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm about to say, right? Okay.
I have an idea what you're going to say. Yes.
Okay. So,
We never truly know what's going to come out your mouth, but I have ideas.
welcome to my mama's life, right? So, we have to stop spot zoning and annexing stuff. We have to have a plan to do it, because 160 houses sounds benign here, there, but all these people need to be moved to the grocery stores, to work, to school, and
Well, if I may,
Yeah.
if I may interject, any property owner in town can come forth to the town hall and request a rezoning. They pay the fee, they go before the planning commission. It's our job to bring it to you. We really don't, we as staff don't make that determination. That's on council. So we're simply doing our job, bringing it forth to council, and it's council's decision whether to rezone it or not.
I totally agree with you. For the last 5 years, I think we had this conversation, me and your predecessor. But anyway, the issue is, I understand you're doing your job, but you have to help council do its job. Our ordinances need to be changed, adjusted to what's happening. Because if not, we're going to be like Lexington. It's going to be an emergency situation. It's going to cost a ton of money to fix it. So we need to, as a council, get together with planning, change or fix our ordinances. Most of the people are new here, probably don't even know what our ordinances say yet. And it's not anybody's fault that they don't know, because how would you know? But our ordinances, we need to be doing work sessions so that we can bring these guys up to speed and to decide what our town's going to look like. How are we moving all these people?
2026 is going to be year for work sessions, so we got them coming.
My man, thank you.
Any further discussion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
My concern, Mr. Hendricks, is similar. We have this same piece of property has been rezoned a few months ago this year. Might have been last year, but anyway, for a commercial business, So now, because we have not met with planning and zoning to talk about what we would like to see the town of Batesburg-Leesville look like in the future, we are continuously coming back to the table with the drawing board being similar all the time. So if we could get together with them and look at ordinances and determine what we would like to see happen, so we could possibly avoid the constant rezoning. And I understand that people come into the area and they come to probably open some businesses or create a business atmosphere or even homes. But if we had something on paper that was more strategic than what is there now, then we wouldn't have to come into every month and twice a month sometimes to go over this. We could say, well, this is what the ordinance says and this is what can be done.
So we are working on the comprehensive plan, and there will be follow back up between planning commission and town council. And then but again, I will reiterate, is if the public comes in and they pay the fee to have that rezoning request, it will be heard by planning commission and then comes to town council. Whether I agree with it or not, that ultimately is y'all's decision. So y'all will get that final say. It is Becky's job as zoning administrator, my job as town manager to bring it forth to you. So even if the comprehensive plan spells out that it will not be C1 or R3 or whatever, it's still up to council to make that determination. So our job is to bring it to y'all.
And we just want to let you know that we understand that.
Okay.
And that we do have some concerns when it comes to bringing it to us.
All right.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, may I?
Yes, ma'am.
Doesn't it, on a piece of property to be rezoned, isn't it proper that someone has to wait a full year if it's been changed before they can reapply?
It has been,
So has it been 1 year on this property?
the property was August of 2024, so yes, it's been 1 year.
Okay. Isn't that our policy?
I believe it is, yes.
Okay.
But
Any further discussion?
Mr. Mayor, if I may,
Yes, sir.
a mundane question. What does the owner intend to do with this property that it cannot do with C2?
He wants to turn it into a graphic design business. And he wants more options should something happen and that business may not produce the income that he wants. He wants it to go back to C1. That's what the discussion is.
Thank you. Any further discussion? If not, we'll vote. District 1,
Yes.
District 3,
District 3 votes yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
District 8 votes yes.
and the mayor votes yes. First, that motion carries. All right. We need a motion for first reading to rezone 413 Hartley Street from C1 General Commercial to R3 Multifamily Residential, Lexington County, TMS number 00720-05-004. Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to pass the first reading to rezone for 413 Hartley Street to R3.
All right, motion by Kathy Knox. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilman Wise. We have a motion and a second to open session on first reading to rezone 413 Hartley Street from C1 General Commercial to R3 Multifamily Residential. It's now
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
What's the acreage of that parcel?
0.37. Pardon me.
Third of an acre. How you?
So
Be like apartment buildings or?
So it is
the house on the TV screen, the property is currently zoned commercial. The buyer would like to renovate the house for residential use. It is contiguous with R3, hence the R3 designation. R3 is multifamily. It's just the only residential option close, and they don't have enough property to have their own zoning district. So R3 would allow for single-family residential.
Thank you, Jay.
Yes, sir.
Any further discussion? If there are no further discussion, we'll vote. District 1,
Yes.
District 3,
District 3 votes yes.
District 4,
Oh, yes.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
District 8 votes yes.
and the mayor votes yes. Brings us to the next item on the agenda, a motion for council approval of the contract to perform automated metering infrastructure project and financing.
And Mr. Mayor, if I may,
Yes, sir.
in your packet, there is that highlighted part that was an issue, the issue portion. There was a slight change made from last month. The new price is $2,799,068, as there was a slight cost adjustment of about $5,000 for software coordination fee between the census product and the town's Springbrook Express bill pay system so that it's integrated for customer ease. That was something that came out of the work session to make sure that there was integration between the current express bill pay and the new system. So that was the only change from the contract that was presented last month to this month.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Do we have a motion? This is concerning what we just had the work session on.
Make a motion to approve.
You don't know how much it cost.
That's Councilman Montgomery.
It's going
I'll
to be
second.
financed. It's going to be $4 million.
All right, second by Councilman Knox. We have a motion and a second for council to approve of the contract to perform automated metering infrastructure project and finance. It's now open for discussion.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I have an issue here. Council is being asked to approve a vendor, and we're going to approve financing shortly, but we're asked to approve a vendor on a project that we really don't know the cost until we know the financing. So how is the project going to be financed?
So I'll jump in there. David May can help me out. So we are working with Parker Poe, our bond attorney. It's Ray Jones. Most of y'all know Ray from previous council meetings. So they are currently compiling, they were doing an RFQ, I believe that is correct, RFP, seeking, I think they've got 9 different banks that they're trying to get the financing done from. And so they will have those numbers for us for the second reading, which will be in January. So this contract number, and we do have the crew from Wegman here. They feel confident with these numbers. The financing was for 2.9. That will be something we get to in the next one, and that will cover the included attorney cost and closing cost of that loan, but it's not related to the contract.
Okay. Basically, earlier, probably in the work session, the issue came up and 4.5% was given as a possible interest rate.
Yes, sir.
20-year loan.
Yes, sir.
Then we were looking at a $4 million plus project, 4.5%, 2.9 million for 20 years. I've run the numbers.
Yes, sir.
So we're really looking at a cost here of $4 million. We're going into debt for this. We already have an outstanding $4 million bond in the enterprise fund
Yes, sir.
at this point in time. So I'd like to make sure my fellow council members understand that we have the option of putting this off and taking another closer look at it, but that's $4 million, and it's debt that we're incurring for 20 years. Also, from what I understand, it is going to increase the water sewer bills for some of our customers.
It will be a there will not be a rate increase. That is the important thing.
I understand
It
the
will be a-
technicality between the rate increase
Yeah.
and the fact that actually it still we will be faced with the public saying that we have increased their water bills and their sewer bills, because essentially the numbers, so-called justification for $16 million savings is the fact that, and I'd like the public to know, that is the fact that we anticipate to bill an additional 5% water that is not currently being properly metered in this. So it's additional revenue, not a savings.
Well, it
per
is,
se.
it is currently a loss to the town. We are currently not billing for that. And so if
Understand
council's
that.
purview is to shortchange the town itself,
Yes.
then that is certainly council's prerogative. But we do believe that this is, one, going to replace our meters, which are old and needed to be replaced anyway. And this goes with the best technology that will make our department way more efficient. It will also allow the customer to be able to see what their usage is, get early notifications. So we stand firmly by that this is the best thing for the community.
I understand that, and of course, I have concerns about the projections of battery life since we haven't fully spec'd the system as far as how often the meter will actually read and how often our customers will be allowed to access those readings. Yes, it is a big event, it is a big savings for someone who has a water leak because it will allow, but the battery life will be totally dependent upon, and it is a sealed battery, so therefore you replace the meter. The battery life will depend upon how we spec, how often the meter will read and how often. So we're looking at a project that hasn't been fully, specifications haven't been fully issued, and we're looking at a cost of $4 million.
Well, we covered all those points in the work session 2 weeks ago. I mean, we discussed the battery life and that if a more frequent reading is going to wear that battery out. And so we do have staff from GRP Wegman that can speak to that concern if that is a concern.
But what does the town intend to offer our end user, our ratepayer, as far as how often will that meter read? That is a specification that should be part of a contract. And also, how often will they be able to access that? Because if they access it twice a day, some people's meters are going to run out of juice well within the 20-year span.
And correct me if it's 6 hours. Is it 6 hours, Philip, if you don't mind for? And just to be clear, the customer doesn't have the ability to go and push a button to read the meter.
No.
It is read, and so they can access their portal 24 hours a day, and it would not wear out the battery.
Mr. Hendricks, that's exactly correct. The system from Census that we propose comes with the default of being read 4 times per day. And 4 times per day, the manufacturer will guarantee that this battery will last for 15 years. If it fails within the 15-year period, the entire meter will be replaced at the manufacturer's cost, no cost to the town. I would argue with Commissioner Hall here, Councilman Hall here, that if you read it less than 4 times per day, it would likely last even longer. And I'm not sure why any water utility needs the meter read 4 times per day. But to Mr. Hendricks's point, the information that comes from those readings is then stored within the billing system, and as an IT function, you could call IT 1,000,000 times a day, and it will not affect the battery whatsoever. They are only responding from the default 4 reads. So again, the system is set up to be read 4 times per day, every account within the city. And within those 4 readings per day, if that battery has any issue within the first 15 years, it's replaced 100%. In years 16 through 20, it is prorated. So in year 16, you're looking at what? Do the math. 90% of the value of the meter will be replaced, and then it scales down from 80 to 60 to 40 to 20. I'm just doing 5 20% for each year. So you are protected throughout the entire 20 years. I hope that was I hope that
Yes.
explained the position well enough.
It did. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'll just,
Any further discussion?
Yeah, I do. I have a issue with this, Jay, because we're going $4 million in debt, and our folks are going to pay more for their water, and they're not getting any better water. If you're going to spend $4 million, I would spend that money fixing the pipes in the ground versus putting in meters. I understand that the profit that we're going to make, and I understand what you're saying about we're not making that same profit now. And this is a scheme to get more money into the town's coffers. I understand that. But the reality is that most people are going to pay more for their water, and they're not going to get any more benefit. It's a good benefit for the town, but it's not a good benefit for the citizens. And on top of that, you go into about $4 million worth of debt. So,
Mr. Mayor.
if I'm inappropriate, you tell me. Many of our customers ask me that exact same question. And the remarkable thing about these programs is, while it may be an inclusive of $4 million spent over 20 years, project returns, I believe, 16 million. The additional monies are made available to reinvest in the infrastructure, the broken pipes, things of that nature, without this council having to add additional monies through taxation, through rate increases.
$4 million is $4
Steve,
million.
Councilman Kane,
Yes,
please be recognized before you
yes.
start back.
I thought he was talking to me, that's why I said so. Were you asking me, were you addressing me?
I was simply suggesting that it produces net positive cash for the city to reinvest in its infrastructure, and oftentimes buried infrastructure is forgotten because it's not parks and sidewalks. So it creates a revenue stream to you reinvest without having to actually put a burden on your citizens to pass new water rate increases and new
Mr.
sewer
Mayor.
rate increases.
Yes, sir.
Were you finished? I'm sorry.
No, I am, sir. Forgive me. Thank you.
Okay, so now I want to address you because you're saying $16 million, right? How much you said?
Over the 20-year period.
Okay, so the two things. One,
Real quick, that includes operation and maintenance, that is also salaries and stuff. So it's not all just water rates or the cost of water. It does include the salaries and operation and maintenance of
Less
that
fuel
equipment.
spent in trucks driving around.
I understand.
So it's a total
And please, yeah, I do understand what you're saying, but I also understand that one thing, I'm going to address you line by line, okay? So one thing about it, you said that there's a $16,000, whatever,
$16 million. of
$16 million
combined savings
over
revenue.
40 years, okay. So,
20.
huh?
Over
20 years, okay. So is there anything in the contract that says that that money is returned back to the citizens, and in what manner does it go back to the citizens? I don't think that's a part of what council has discussed. And secondly, I will reiterate that we're going into debt, and the citizens are going to pay more for their water. Okay? And if we wanted to go into debt, and we really wanted to do a service for the citizens, and this is not for you, but if we really wanted to go into debt and do a service for our citizens, we would be doing pipes in the ground. The lead pipes, the old pipes that are in the ground, we would be replacing them as a priority. And then we would be able to look at doing new meters. But I think we have jumped onto this project way in advance of where we probably should be. So my issue, again, is the fact that we're going to be raising water bills. However way you look at it, at the end of the day, people are going to write a check for more money tomorrow than they're writing today. So that's more money out of people's pocket. And the debt and the service on that debt, I think, is not appropriate at this time. And there's no slight against you. I understand the technology, and I agree with the technology. I don't agree with the timing.
I think you have exceptionally good concerns, and I've been in the business for 30 years. I've heard those concerns many times, and I always applaud them, looking out for your constituent. One of the things you ask is, what do we return to our citizens from this project? you return the ability to avoid astronomical large rate increases when you have a real problem and a large part of your infrastructure needs to be replaced.
Yes.
Because now you're simply charging for the amount of water that's being used, nothing more than what's being used.
Right.
But it returns to your community. So if you're charging for what you're using, you might avoid having large rate increases in the future. They could be minimalized over time. So I think that's one possible way to look at it. I also would say that while this project generates net positive dollars, much more than the cost, you could use those extra dollars to pay off that loan much earlier and spend far less money on the actual interest cost.
Yeah, but that has to be
Your
in,
attorney is working with Parker Pogue. Make sure
I'm
you have
sorry,
a
Dave.
provision in there that says no prepayment penalties, right? To allow you to pay it off earlier, and then that extra $2 million, it's
is that
about,
is that in what we're voting on now?
that's what you'll be doing when you select your financing provider, yes.
But is that?
That's your next item.
Mr. Mayor,
That's on the,
Is
Can I
part
call
of the
for-
ordinance that they're asking us to vote on is earmarking the profit? Is that part of what we're doing? Because I didn't hear that in the motion. We could do it.
Well, that's outside, we're not
Well, I
the
understand,
financing
and I'm
company,
not
but you
asking
could do
you,
that.
I'm not asking you about, for that answer. That answer comes from Jay. I'm sorry, Dave. But that answer comes from Jay, whether this money is actually earmarked for the good things that this gentleman had said that we could do. Paying it off early, rebating some of that to our citizens in infrastructure. That needs to be spelled out. If not, it just becomes a slush fund for the council or the staff or whoever. There's no direction for where that money goes.
And your last point, Mr. Hendricks is going to choke me after this. There are federal funds available right now for lead service line replacement. If you would like to have a workshop, I won't charge you $1. I can speak to you at length about what the town could do in terms of accessing federal funds at a future council meeting if you want to address that. There are really good programs available right now, maybe as much as 50%. We could show you how to maybe access some of those dollars for your citizens.
Sir, what point of personal privilege?
Councilman Kane.
Yes.
You've already had your 2 or 3 times.
Yes, I appreciate it.
We have other people on council, so
Mr. Mayor, I'd like
They
to
need
call
to
for a
change.
question,
Go ahead.
please.
Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Ms. Knox had it first.
I'd like to call for a question, please.
Question's been called for.
No.
That means we'll vote.
Don't we have to vote on the question, though?
No.
To suspend?
Question's been
Debate.
called for, that request to vote.
Mr. Mayor, I do have a question as to what we're voting on.
You're voting on the motion to approve of a contractor to perform automated metering infrastructure project and financing.
So then, when the word for legal information, so we are voting to finance this.
You are voting to
On the
approve,
motion as is presented here. Yes, sir.
So the word "and financing" is in that motion.
Yes, sir.
So I'm at a loss here. We have another issue where we're going to handle financing as a separate motion, and here we are, this should be just accept the contractor.
Mr. Mayor, I
Mr.
do
Mayor.
think we need to remove that or the financing portion of that, because that is, the next item is the
different.
ordinance on financing.
Okay.
It's two different.
So,
All right, so we're going to take it out of the motion.
That's right.
Mr. Mayor, the councilman who made the motion needs to amend their motion, removing that from the motion. And it needs to be seconded again,
right.
the amended.
That would be Councilman Montgomery.
I'd like to amend my previous motion to take the financing part of that script out.
Okay. We have a second to the amendment.
And I seconded originally. I'd second that as well.
Okay, well, we have the original motion maker and the original person that made the second that are proposing to amend their motion to take out financing. The amendment is now open for discussion. There's no discussion. We'll vote on the amendment to remove financing. District 1?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 6,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
District 8 votes yes.
Mayor votes yes. All right, this brings us back to the discussion of the amended motion, which is to approve of the contractor to perform automated metering and infrastructure project.
We had a call for question on that, Mr. Mayor.
If there's no further discussion, we'll vote on the motion as amended. District 1,
Yes.
District 3,
District 3 votes no.
District 4,
4, no.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
Yes.
and the mayor votes yes. That motion carries as amended. That brings us to the next item on the agenda. We need a motion for the first reading on an ordinance to finance AMI. Do we have a motion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'll make the motion that we finance AMI with our bond attorneys.
You want to
Handling
add
that.
with our bond attorney?
It doesn't have to be, I'm sorry.
Right now, we're just voting to finance it. We're not, you're
Yeah,
proposing to
finance it with
We're not-
AMI.
We're not
Yes.
going to discuss how.
Right.
Okay.
Proposing to finance with AMI.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Councilman Montgomery. Have a motion and a second to discuss first reading of an ordinance, or to pass the first reading of an ordinance to finance AMI. That motion is now open for discussion.
Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Yes, sir.
We are not obligating any monies at this point in time, simply to investigate financing and come back to.
Correct. This is the first reading. You'll have a second reading and public hearing at the January meeting. At that time, in advance of that, we'll have all of the financing options from Parker Poe.
But by resolution, we could authorize administration to bring us forth the financing without an ordinance. You're telling me, or at least I understand, and I'm slow, but you're saying that this is the first reading to actually expend monies, because the second reading would be a reading in which the monies would be spelled out to council. So I have an issue of us sitting here approving an ordinance, expending money that we don't know what we're spending.
So, and David can speak a little bit clearer to it. He's better at the words. But so this is authorizing up to $2.9 million loan, which will cover the cost of the contract that was just approved and the financing cost.
So again, I'm still saying it could be north of 4 million, it could be south of 4 million.
Correct.
All right, you're asking, again, I mean, if I go to a car dealership and say, I want a car, and they say, well, okay, sign the contract and we'll tell you what the price is. That's not the way I'm accustomed to doing business.
And this is not a binding, this is a first reading. You'll have a second reading next month. David, would you like to expand on that? We didn't ask Ray Jones to be here as the bond attorney, so David's going to kind of speak in his place.
Obviously, the financing at the next meeting, the ordinance just authorizes the town to enter into the financing. Like Jay mentioned earlier, that you will have, banks will put in bids for the financing and whatnot. If council would prefer, before, we should have those back before the second reading. If not, then council would be able to come back and actually vote on the actual terms and the lowest, the bidder that you feel comfortable going with, which bank has the best rates and what in terms, if council chose to go that route.
So our options at that time is to either vote on a unknown sum if they are not ready at the next or the second reading, or to table that motion for a second.
And then I would encourage you to table it if we don't have the terms, but I fully expect we'll have the terms. by
Just
then.
clarifying what the council's options are.
Yes.
Thank you.
Just to reiterate the way I see it, we're voting on that we're going to finance. We're not voting on any particular bank or any particular amount. We're just voting on the fact that we're going to finance this purchase. And that's what we're voting on. I just want everybody to understand that's all we're voting on at this time. We're not spending any money. We're just finding out how much it's going to cost us. We're deciding whether we're going to finance it or not. That's what you'll be voting for on this motion. Is that
Mr.
right?
Mayor. Mr. Mayor. And Jay, am I clear on, it will help us to get better bids for the loan package if banks are aware that the council is looking for the right numbers? And that we're serious about it.
Yeah, I can't speak to the what they may or may not do, but certainly with Parker Poe and Stiefel is the financing arm of that. They are well respected, and so they are working through their normal chains, and I believe it was 9 banks or companies that they were working with. So we fully expect that those numbers will be back in time for y'all to review before the council meeting. And as I mentioned, if we don't, for some reason with the holidays, if things get delayed, we can push that to February. We want to get it done, but we'll get it done correctly.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion on the motion to authorize the first reading on the ordinance to authorize finance and AMI? If not, we'll vote. District 8.
District 8 votes yes.
District 7.
Yes.
District 6.
Yes.
District 5.
Yes.
District 4.
No.
District 3.
District 3 votes no.
District 1.
Yes.
And the mayor votes yes. Takes us, that first motion to pass first reading carries. Takes us to the next item on the agenda, which is I'll need a motion to approve first reading of an ordinance to modify zoning ordinance I-1, height restrictions.
So moved.
I'll second. We now have fire trucks that can handle that, so that is an awesome thing.
A motion and a second to modify zoning ordinance for I-1 height restrictions. It's now open for discussion. There's no discussion, we'll vote. District 1.
Yes.
District 3.
District 3 votes yes.
District 4.
4 yes.
5.
Yes.
District 6.
Yes.
District 7.
Yes.
District 8.
Yes.
And the mayor votes yes. Takes us to the next item on the agenda, which would be to approve the approval of HTAX grant request from the BBA for Christmas in Batesburg. Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion, Mr. Mayor.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Councilman Knox and a second by Councilman Wise.
And just for clarity, the requested amount is $1,948.93
Okay?
for the record.
And that's in the packet, so that information has been made available for you to look at.
There's only 2 entities that can get the money.
Any discussion on that motion?
That's crazy.
If not, we'll vote. District 1,
Yes.
District 3,
District 3 votes yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
District 8 votes yes.
and the mayor votes yes. Takes us to the next item on the agenda, which is the resolution to suspension of open container ordinance for proposed beer festival, Rosemary Knowlton. That's with Homeland.
Mr. Mayor, before we select the motion, I have a question, a legal question, seeking legal advice. If I may, the rule of equal dignity requires that an ordinance be amended by an ordinance. Now, we don't have provisions to override that. It is not a law. But normally, when you change an ordinance, and suspending an ordinance is amending it, that should be done by an ordinance per se. Should this not be an ordinance, Mr. Attorney?
Ordinances can only be amended by another ordinance. That is correct. However, this is merely a suspension of an existing ordinance from being enforced for a period of time in a specific area. It is not amending the ordinance or changing the ordinance as it currently stands. Once the temporary period where it's paused is over, the ordinance is still in effect. Or it's still in effect for other locations as well, just not this location. So it's not amending or changing the ordinance. It's merely just pausing it from being enforced in a certain area for a certain period of time.
Well, I'm not an attorney by any means, but essentially suspending is in effect changing or amending per se. And of course, my concern is, is a resolution have standing in courts as a legally binding?
A resolution is a legal act of council establishing a decision. So it is legally binding and enforceable, and a resolution is. And like I said, it's not amending or changing the ordinance as it is. That can only be done by another ordinance. This is merely just pausing it for from being enforced for a specific period of time in a specific location. The ordinance is still in effect for other locations, and it's still valid.
Okay, so yours, for my understanding, again, of the term equal dignity, it would only apply if we, for instance, spent money that was not in the budget ordinance and the remaining monies available did not meet the monies that we're expending. So I'm saying if we go out and buy a $100,000 fire truck and there's not $100,000 left in the budget, that would require the ordinance, our budget ordinance, be amended, not a resolution.
When amending, like I said earlier, when amending an ordinance, an ordinance needs to be amended by another ordinance. In the situation of a budget, obviously the revenue has to equal the expenditures. So if you had additional expenditure,
Mr. Mayor, point of order.
If you had an additional expenditure and then
Mr. Mayor, point of
you
order.
had to identify additional revenue coming in, and you would need to amend your ordinance by another ordinance to establish that. Unless you had money in your already budget that was enough to cover that expense, then at that point you would not have to amend your budget. You could pass a resolution authorizing that expenditure.
Thank you.
All right. Councilman McCain, state
Call
your
for the
point.
question? No, call for the question, please.
Okay, well, there's no question because there's no motion.
Oh. Oh, that's right, he jumped in before the motion.
He
I'll
jumped
move
in,
that we
he
approve
put
it.
his cart before his horse.
Okay.
No.
Well, let's get the ox out of the ditch.
All right, we need a motion.
Motion.
He made the motion.
All right.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion to suspend the open container ordinance for proposed beer fest by Rosemary Knowlton. That's in August the 8th?
Yes.
Okay. And it would be on Main Street in Leesville.
Yes.
That's all in your packet if you read it. It's now open for discussion.
Don, will Mike Taylor be making his famous pimento cheese? I'm trying to decide if I'm going to get a ticket or not. Okay. Okay. We'll talk, Mike, afterwards.
Well, we got
please.
months to document it.
Any further discussion? If not, we'll vote. District 1,
Yes.
District 2.
See, you're not going
I'm
to get me this
sorry,
time.
I
You're
missed-
not going to get me.
District 3, that
District
invisible man hadn't
Yeah.
spoke all night long.
Not all night. That's good. Okay. District 3 votes yes.
District 4,
No.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
District 8 votes yes.
and the mayor votes yes. The motion carries. Approval of the regular council meeting dates for 2026, and they're on the screen. Do we have a motion to accept or approve those dates?
I make a motion to approve the dates printed out and shown.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. A motion by Councilman Montgomery and a second by Councilman Hall to approve the dates for the regular council meetings for 2026. It's now open for discussion. If there's no discussion, we'll vote. District 1,
Yes.
District 3,
District 3 votes yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
District 8 votes yes.
and the mayor votes yes. The motion carries. All right, that brings us to the next item on our agenda, which is council election for mayor pro tempore.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that Paul Wise of District 6 serve as mayor pro tem.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Councilman Knox, a second by Councilman Montgomery.
They want.
We have a motion and a second to elect Councilman Wise as mayor pro tempore. It's now open for discussion. There's no discussion, we'll vote. District 1,
Yes.
District 3,
District 3 votes yes.
District 4,
No.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
District 8 votes yes.
and the mayor votes yes. All right, this brings us to the next item on the agenda, which is council appointments for Planning Commission and the Board of Zoning Appeals. And we're going to do that as one blanket thing. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that is the normal procedure. An updated list was placed on the dais before the council meeting, I believe. We have received a few extra names since the council packet went out Thursday. So just review the sheet on your desk. I do not have it for the board.
I'll read them off.
Okay.
Okay. These are the appointees by each council member for their district. From the mayor appoints on the Planning Commission Rachel Taylor, and the Board of Zoning Appeals Billy Berry. District 1 appoints Laurel Gillespie for Planning Commission, and the Board of Zoning Appeals Ashley Sturgeon. District 2 is Sean Bryant on the Planning Commission. District 3 has not appointed anybody at this point. District 4 is LaJona Williams on Planning Commission and Lily Gibbs on the Board of Zoning Appeals. District 5 on the Planning Commission is Kevin Duggins, and the Board of Zoning Appeals, Greg Smith. District 6 has Riley Adams for the Planning Commission and no one for the Board of Zoning Appeals. District 7 has for the Planning Commission Bart Cochcroft and Justin Trotter for the Board of Zoning Appeals. District 8 has Johnny Mae Lemon for the Planning Commission and the Board of Zoning Appeals, Shelma Falah Morgan. Do we have a motion that we accept those appointees?
Mr. Mayor, I move that we accept the appointees for the mayor, District 1, District 5, and District 7.
All right.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Councilman Hall and a second by Councilman Montgomery to accept the council appointees. It's now open for discussion. If there's no discussion, we'll vote. District 1.
Yes.
District 3.
District 3 votes yes.
District 4.
4 yes.
District 5.
Yes.
District 6.
Yes.
District 7.
Yes.
District 8.
District 8 votes yes.
And the mayor votes yes. The motion carries. All right, next will be the council appointments. This would be a council members. Mr. Hendricks, do we need to do that individually, or can we do that as a blanket?
Oh, separately would be best.
Separately?
Yes, sir.
All right, we need an appointee for the Central Midlands, or a motion for an appointee for the Central Midlands Council of Governments.
I make a motion, Joe Montgomery, District 7.
We have a motion, do I have a second? For Joe Montgomery, do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second that we appoint Joe Montgomery to the Central Midlands Council of Governments.
And just for clarity, who did you have for the second? Was that Councilman Hall or Councilman Wise?
The tie.
It was unanimous.
Well, it was a tie, but, yeah. And just a
I
reminder.
don't have a blank to fill out up here on that, so.
Okay, okay.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, I would recommend that any council member who is appointed to a commission recuse himself from voting on that position when the vote is called.
Good recommendation.
Fancy that.
All right. I'm sorry. We have a motion and a second that we appoint Councilman Montgomery to the Central Midlands Council of Governments. Now open for discussion. There's no discussion, we'll vote. District 1.
Yes.
District 3.
District 3 votes no.
District 4.
No.
District 5.
Yes.
District 6.
Yes.
District 7.
Recuses his vote.
District 8.
District 8 votes yes.
And the mayor votes yes. All right. We need a motion to appoint an appointee to the Joint Municipal Water Sewer Commission.
I make a motion, Mr. Mayor, that we appoint you as the Joint Municipal Water Commission.
Do we have a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second that I be appointed to the Joint Municipal Water Sewer Commission. It's now open for discussion. If there's no discussion, we'll vote. District 1.
Yes.
District 3.
District 3 votes yes.
District 4.
4 yes.
District 5.
Yes.
District 6.
Yes.
District 7.
Yes.
District 8.
District 8 votes yes.
And the mayor recuses himself.
Amen. Hard lesson.
All right.
Jeez.
All right, we need, the next motion is going to be an appointee for the Environmental Planning Advisory Committee.
I make a motion, District 1, vote Turner for EPA.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second that motion.
A motion and a second that we appoint Councilman Turner to the Environmental Planning and Advisory Committee. It's now open for discussion. There's no discussion, we'll vote. District 1.
Recused.
District 3.
District 3 votes yes.
District 4.
Yes.
District 5.
Yes.
District 6.
Yes.
District 7.
Yes.
District 8.
District 8 votes yes.
The mayor votes yes. Motion carries. All right. We need a motion for an appointee to the Comet Advisory Committee.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion on that one as well, that we have Mr. Steve Kane from District 3 on the Comet Advisory Committee.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You haven't spoken to me about that. Or
No,
any
sir.
other, you made all these motions, and you never spoken to me. Did she speak to you, Betty? Okay, so no, ma'am. Thank you.
No, but I know you've been sitting on that committee for quite a while, so
Did you think I wanted to stay on there?
I didn't think to ask you, sir.
Okay. It'd be good in the future if you're going to bring my name up to ask me.
Do we have a nominee for the Comet Advisory Committee? If there's no nominee, then I guess we don't have anyone on that committee.
Okay, we can advise some of that.
Is that what we do?
What did he say?
Just for clarity, I believe that the Common Advisory Board position came out of the pilot program we had several years ago, and so we are not providing financial assistance to the Comet. We don't have a vote on the board, and we have no service. So I don't think there would be any objection from the Comet if we did not have a representative.
I will sit on there, but I'm not going to, in the future, I need to be asked to sit on there. And if council
I
is not going
apologize,
to,
Steve.
if council is not going to move forward with what the council, what the topic does, there's no need for us to sit on there. So
I agree.
one or the other.
So we're going to say we don't have a representative, that we're not going to send a representative there. That,
Are you
do we
actually
need to
going to do
vote on
anything?
that, or I don't know.
Are you actually, the town actually going to move forward? I mean, I've been on there for God knows how long.
We need to, but they don't do it.
You have been the only advocate really for any Comet service, but
I mean, we are increasing the number of people we have in this town. So public transportation is important if we're going to be serious about it. If not, then we shouldn't have anybody on there. Those are 3-hour meetings.
so if there's nothing to take action on, it can be brought up at a later date if
Okay.
somebody does want to be
All right.
appointed.
That takes us to you, Mr. Hendricks, for the manager's report.
Did not anticipate it being 8:30, but I apologize if we had a long agenda tonight. Just as a
Govern yourself accordingly.
the Commanders are obviously not on Monday Night Football tonight, so after last night, I don't think you want to see anymore. But just if anybody sees a phone laying around, I am missing my telephone, so it might be in the car, but it's one of those days. Hey, just a couple of holidays that are coming up. Obviously, the Christmas holidays are coming up. So
the town hall and town staff will be off the 23rd, 24th, and 25th, with Christmas falling on that Friday. Also, the 1st is the New Year's holiday. Just as a reminder, the special election to fill the District 2 seat will be February 17th. I believe the filing period will fall between December 12th and 22nd. I did put a letter on your dais for the work session, special council meeting work session, but just to note for the public, Chief Amick, Police Chief Amick will be stepping down as chief on December 17th. Major David Baltonite will become the interim chief on the 18th. We have been working on the details of the hiring process. We anticipate posting that job after the holidays. It will be posted for 1 month. We'll post it through several professional organizations, and then we will conduct interviews using a panel of law enforcement professionals with the goal of offering the position sometime in February. The town employee Christmas lunch is scheduled for December 22nd at noon at Wiz's Eatery. I guess that's Wiz's Eatery 2.0. Council is encouraged to attend. We will have some awards to give out to town employees, so we'd love to see you there. Reminder, Hometown Legislative Action Day and the Municipal Elected Officials Institute are coming up January 20th and 21st. If you have not let us know yet, if you plan to attend, please let us know so we can go ahead and get you registered. I believe you also have that on the dais as well. Mike touched on the Christmas parade from last night and then the after party. Both of them seem to be very successful. I saw a little bit at the beginning as Wyatt was walking the entire length, carrying the American flag with the ROTC. When I have to share this personal story, the daughter with her 2-year-old rambunctious baker, she was like, "What time did the parade start?" I was like, "It started about 5 minutes ago." And she goes, "Well, when will it be here?" And I was like, "How fast can your brother walk from Bojangles to the College Park?" Needless to say, she started heading back towards the house and teamed up with her husband. But it was a very good success. We had a great crowd for the parade. Santa reported that it was the biggest crowd he'd seen in years. And then we also had a great turnout at the park for the after party, and Santa taking pictures as well. Some project updates. As mentioned earlier, we should have water flowing this week on the line from Joint Municipal. All of the sampling has been completed and passed and has been submitted to DES. So we're expecting to receive that. All the permits, the town has received permits. We're waiting on that permit from Joint Municipal and then also the water tank. But we should have that water flowing this week, and then we'll start the process of shutting down the plant. I make it sound much easier than Andrew. Andrew has, he's got a lot more issues to work through than just turning the switch.
That's going to be crazy.
Another utility project that is ongoing, replacement of water line on Peachtree Street and Maple Street. Those pipes are in the ground and are in the sampling process. I think the Peachtree is passed. Maple Street is the next one. And then South Oak Street, a sewer line repair is beginning as we speak. Park restrooms got slowed down a little bit with all the wet weather. It makes it tough to paint outside. Kathy can relate to that, I'm sure. So that is hopefully going to happen soon, along with the painting of the depot. It's supposed to be completed by the end of the month. We'll wait and see on how close that goes. We do have a meeting tomorrow with the contractor and the engineer. Pine Street parking lot, again, we put a hold on planting the big trees during the heat. We have reached out about getting those planted. Again, those larger trees were quoted at 18 to 20 feet tall. So those are some bigger trees. And we are waiting to hear back from the contractor. Central Midland staff was out last week as we continue to work on the comprehensive plan, working on those chapters 7, 8, 9, and those will be coming to you in the near future for your review and for another meeting. Arbor Day grant, I know Councilman Kane was at the class on Thursday night, I believe. I attended on Wednesday, but it was a big success. Hundreds of trees were given out. You may have seen some of them were still out here in the parking lot to be picked up. Keep the Midlands Beautiful has been helping facilitate this grant, and they advised that they were able to get a great price and on the trees, and there are some more that are available and coming. So it's not too late. If you're interested, let me know.
Jay, who's the chair of that board?
Jeff Cox is the board
Who's
chair.
the chair of the lady that was here?
Well, the old chair is me, and I think that's
Oh.
who you're referring to. But Jeff has taken over, thankfully.
But thank you for your service on that. That was a great project.
Yeah, that was a great partnership between the town and Keep the Midlands Beautiful, and Trouty really deserves all the credit. She wrote the grant, and it has facilitated. That's where the real work comes in. Town financial updates. I try to run through it a little bit slower for our newer people so they can understand it. So our general fund checking account is at the balance of $94,268.99. And then we have the LGIP general fund account with $883,857.13. So the general fund checking, general fund again is police, fire, street department, fleet, administrative, town council, all fall under that. There is an ebb and a flow in those bank accounts as property tax comes in first of the year. January, February specifically are the big months. So you'll see that revenue tick up and the balances will rise accordingly. Our utility checking balance is $209,950.57. Our local government investment pool, again, the LGIP is our investment. We've got money put in those accounts, drawing interest. That's a $3,475,654.98 in that account. Utility checking is usually pretty steady. We do have that one bond that Councilman Hall mentioned earlier that is paid annually, and that was paid in July. We've had some bigger checks recently with the project that we just talked about with the Maple Street, Peachtree Street. And then there is also a capital improvement project and impact fee, which has a balance of $880,753.93. So that goes towards capital projects and is primarily funded through the impact fees. Impact fees are assessed on new construction. Any new taps the tap fee essentially pays the cost of the tap, and then the impact fee is going into that capital improvement impact fee account. Victims assistance has a balance of $9,964.56. Fire department 1% account has a $42,265.49 account, or 49 cents in the account. That is kind of a separate account that comes from the state. It's from the 1%, it references insurance rates, so as people pay their insurance, 1% comes back to the local fire department. That is not in the town budget. That is separate by law. Police department donations is also what it is. It's donations to the police department. They've got $14,948.57. Oftentimes that's used on some small items at the firing range. Municipal court has a balance of $54,922.48. And those are coming in, obviously, through court fees and fines. The hospitality tax budget or account has a balance of $301,557.58. And then the LGIP for H-Tax is $975,948.24. And for our new people, the hospitality tax is 2% charged on prepared food and drink. So that is separate accounts, and I think most of y'all are familiar with that. Does anybody have any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Hendricks, for that report. That takes us to the next item on our agenda, and we would entertain a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Hall,
Second.
second by Ms. Hartley. Any discussion? Not, we'll vote. District 1,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
Yes.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
District 8 votes yes.
and the mayor votes yes. The motion to go in executive carries. We are in executive session.
It's a little married, but.
I would to end session and reconvene us into general session.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we leave executive session.
Second the motion, Mr. Mayor.
I have a motion and a second that we exit executive session, and that would put us to reconvene in general session. It's now open for discussion. There's no discussion, we'll vote. District 1?
Yes.
District 3?
District 3 votes yes.
District 4?
4 yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 6?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
District 8 votes yes.
And the mayor votes yes. We are back in general session. All right. That brings us to, get my sheet up there. Motions from the executive session.
Where we starting?
Town attorney.
We at possible at town attorney. We need a motion about the town attorney.
Mr. Montgomery,
Yes, sir.
did you have a motion? I thought Mr. Montgomery had a motion.
Okay, nobody said
I
it.
was doing another one, but I can do it. Make a motion that we keep the town attorney as is, and maybe put out some feelers for some better prices in the future, but at this moment in time, since it is an open-ended contract, I say that we retain.
Point of order. You're talking about the attorney, not the manager. Look at Jay's face. Okay, we're talking about the attorney, though. I mean, yeah, the attorney.
What I was talking about.
That's what he was saying.
Oh, I thought he said the manager.
No, he said town attorney.
Lord have mercy. Y'all forgive me.
I second the
Been
motion.
here too long.
Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all.
Mayor, I
Long
second the
night.
motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second that we continue as is with the town attorney. And if deemed necessary at a later point, we will be open to putting out feelers for shopping for better prices. Now open for discussion.
How long are we going to accept that? It's just going to be ongoing? Like in a month by month?
It's not
or-
in the motion, so we can't really
Yeah.
say.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, call for the question.
All right, questions called for. We'll vote. District 1,
That is accepted as a contract.
District 3,
District 3 votes yes.
District 4,
Yes.
Yes.
District 5,
That's the attorney.
No.
District 6,
No.
District 7,
Yes.
District 8,
District 8 votes yes.
and the mayor votes yes. Motion carries. All right. The next thing will be the municipal judge. We need a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the contract to extend the contract for the current judge for 2 years at the salary in the contract as presented to council.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. We have a motion and a second that we continue with the municipal judge. Say again, at the current, as the contract as presented, or?
With compensation as presented in the contract.
All right. It's now open for discussion. There's no discussion. We'll vote. District 8,
District 8 votes yes.
District 7,
Yes.
6,
Yes.
5,
Yes.
4,
Yes.
3,
District 3 votes yes.
1,
Yes.
and the mayor votes yes. And that brings us to the contract for the town manager.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to amend the town manager's contract to extend it to the end of December of '27 and the severance package to 24 weeks.
Have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second, it's open for discussion. There's no discussion, we'll vote. District 1,
Yes.
District 3,
District 3 votes yes.
District 4,
4 yes.
District 5.
Yes.
District 6.
Yes.
District 7.
Yes.
District 8.
District 8 votes yes.
And the mayor votes yes. That motion carries. All right. The next thing is potential agenda items for the next month's meeting. Anybody got anything?
When will we start working on ordinances? Will that be part of the agenda or just work?
What my recommendation is, and I want to say that I'd send out kind of a timeline. January work session, we're looking at the comp and class study and have department heads come in and present information about their departments for kind of an education. And then looking at, we also need to get the comprehensive plan completed, but looking at impact fees as a work session for February. I'm going off the top of my head, and then I think I was looking at zoning ordinances for March, I think is my timeline, but that's all subject to change. We could speed that up or change it as so desired.
Because when did you say the comprehensive plan was going to be brought to the planning zone? Did you say it was January?
No, that is the comp and class study, the compensation and classification study that was approved by council. We kind of put a hold on it so that it was presented to the new council.
Right.
But the comprehensive plan is being worked on by Central Midlands. That,
Right.
as I said, they were out last week working on. As soon as we get it from them, we'll schedule another work session.
It'll probably be the first of the year.
It will certainly be after the first year.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no work sessions I'm planning for this month, so we're good.
Thanks.
All right, can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
On a work session, can we include in our upcoming, soon upcoming work session, how we can implement town hall meetings where the community can come in and make comments and tell us about things, problems they have?
Sure.
Some people are saying we want it every month. I personally think that's going to bog us down a little bit longer than we want to. But I think we need to let the community be involved at least every other month.
And tell you what you
I'd like to
talking
see that
about?
in a work session.
You talking about in the work session format?
Yeah, talk about it in a
Yeah.
work session comment and how we would implement town hall meetings.
We can incorporate that to January's work
Or
session.
can we separate and have single district meetings here if we'd like?
We can talk about it.
Council members are always, if you want to have some event here, have some forum, you're always welcome to have that. Just let us know and we'll reserve the room for you.
Check. That's just. Well, hey, but to answer your question, I do that all the time.
Okay. I just wanted to be
Yeah.
sure.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I move we adjourn.
Do we have a second?
And a third.
We have a motion and a second that we adjourn. That motion's privileged. Without objection, we'll adjourn.
Good night.
Good night, y'all.